Great. It's yet another good evening, our dear viewers, and we are excited to be here yet another day that God has made for us to rejoice and be glad in it. It's a beautiful Sunday evening, yet another time on Occupy today on Hope TV Kenya. So we are looking forward to a beautiful and amazing time together in this show. So most welcome. Sit back, relax, grab a glass of water, and enjoy the show with us today as we talk about authenticity in business. We're going to have a very authentic conversation with my dear guest this evening, and you can be sure it will be great. It will be great. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And I'm really hoping that you as a business person can be made to think through your business and see how can you bring authenticity in your business. How can this conversation inspire you to greater heights of authenticity in business? And especially in this very rough terrain that businesses find themselves in, you as an entrepreneur, I'm sure it can be very rough and you can lose yourself even as you do business. But you know what? God has given us the grace to continue doing business in Kenya and beyond. Why? Because he loves us and he has given us an opportunity to look up to him as the author and the finisher of our faith. So as you do your business, I'm sure tonight you will get the nuggets that will enable you to look forth to a better tomorrow by living authentically as a child of God, but also doing your business in such a way that brings authenticity out of you and your business. So sit back this evening, enjoy the show with us. And I want to introduce myself as Sarah Kajuju, the growth coach. And I'm looking forward to your questions and your comments in this show tonight. So most welcome, our dear viewers. I want to introduce or bring on our guests this evening to introduce themselves. I'm joined by two gentlemen. So here is the lady and the two gentlemen. And I'm happy to host you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Cedric and Eugene.
Thank you.
It's a great pleasure to have you in the show tonight. And I want you to quickly introduce yourselves, tell us your names, tell us what sort of business you're doing and why you love your business. I mean, it's important to know. Why do you love your business? Because I'm sure you do love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Yesterday, during our CBF or the Sitam Business Forum meeting, somebody asked, do you like your business? How many of you like your business? Actually, it was you.
Yes.
Eugene, yeah? And everybody put their hands up.
Yes.
And then after that, he asked, let me ask another question. How many of you love their businesses? And of course, because I know you love your businesses, you not only like them, this is why you're on the show tonight, so that we have this very authentic conversation that will tell our viewers how to live authentically, even as they do their businesses, and how to bring out an authentic business because they are the key persons in their businesses. So come on, introduce yourselves.
Can go first?
You didn't say ladies first.
And there's no lady.
We don't have an option.
I have no option.
Cool. My name is Cedric Gitura. I am here representing LifeQuip International. We're an organization that seeks to alleviate pain. End of story. Like,
What?
our passion is ending pain.
Ending pain.
Ending pain.
Where?
Yeah.
You remind me of a church that used to be at Globe Cinema called Stop Suffering.
Stop suffering.
Stop Suffering. And
That sounds like advice. Stop suffering.
Stop Suffering, you know. Anyway, you'll tell us how you alleviate pain.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have you tonight in this
Thank you
show,
very much.
Cedric. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. It's good to be here.
Uh-huh.
My name is Eugene Okanda.
You didn't want to begin with pastor.
No, I was actually going there. My name is Eugene Okanda. I am a pastor at Sitam Kikuyu. I was almost remembering my previous church assembly.
Yeah.
But my name is Eugene Okanda. I'm a pastor at Sitam Kikuyu Town Church, where I'm serving as a student pastor. That is just pastor in training.
Yeah.
I'm still doing my Masters of Arts in Theology at Africa International University, where I'm at the tail end of my academics. Should be submitting and finishing up with my thesis by the end of this year. So trusting God to get into pastoral. But I'm also an entrepreneur.
Whoa.
I'm also an entrepreneur. Previously, I've been providing services. So I do leadership training for student leaders in universities and also high school student leaders, and also run a number of mentorship programs in high schools. So I've been into that space through my organization, where I serve as an executive director. It's called Unlock Young Leaders Summit.
executive director.
Executive director.
Yeah, they'd better know that.
I know. So I have been serving as the executive director for the past 3 years. So I've been doing that consistently, visited more than 200 high schools,
Wow.
done a number of sessions in high schools. So I also do that with other organizations, youth-based leadership organizations. So that's what I've been doing, and I've known to do that since I was still doing my undergraduate in campus.
Wow.
And then recently, we have put out now a new product in the market. So I work with a team of 3 at African Daybreak, where I'm serving as the Chief Operating Officer at African Daybreak. So at African Daybreak, basically, we want to revitalize how people take breakfast.
Well, okay.
We want to help people come out of wheat
Yes.
and have some good, yummy breakfast. So we do nuts, we have seeds, and we have the lunch bars.
Oh, wow.
We'll be talking more about that in a short
Definitely,
while.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Stop pain, do healthy breakfast.
Yeah.
I am excited tonight.
Sure.
Our dear viewers, I hope you are there because it's going to be a very exciting time on the show tonight, Occupy
Absolutely.
Today. And like Eugene is talking, as he's talking, I'm thinking, men of God also do business,
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And entrepreneurship is such a godly thing to do, isn't
Wow,
it?
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And of course, on Occupy Today, we make you shine in the marketplace and we authenticate, we actually validate the fact that it's a godly thing to do business. Indeed, it's a godly thing to do business and to excel in business. And no wonder then I have gentlemen here who know God and who know the place of God in their businesses. And this is why we're talking about authenticity in business tonight. So looking forward to your questions and your comments, dear viewers. And so I begin the first question, authenticity in business. Wow. But before even we go there, when you said you end pain, sijui kama unatudunga, do you inject us with how are you ending pain, Cedric?
Is this when you can introduce our product as
You
well?
can introduce your product.
Absolutely.
Just go right ahead if you have. I know you have samples. Just show them to us.
Yes.
And this is the right time so that then as we get into the conversation, we're not going back to, this is the right
Absolutely.
time.
So if you're in business, if you're a coach, so you've if in business coaching, you've likely taken people through the cycle for what is your customer's pain. My customer's pain is pain. It's pain and literally pain.
Physical pain.
It's physical pain.
Wow.
We have a nifty little product here.
Yes.
Here you go.
Yes.
Have that. So we have, this is called a Ziva Heat Pain Relief Patch.
Yes.
What it does, which camera? That camera, I guess.
Yes.
What it does is ideally helps you relieve period pain.
Yes.
Menstrual cramps, whatever it is. How it's used, it's an air activated patch. So if you pull it out, I think I have,
Sorry.
right after we talked about it.
It's all right.
I guess this is what it looks like, straight out of the pack.
Yes.
And what it does is it's air activated. It's an old Japanese therapy. So you once you tear this open, and stick the pack inside, patch inside, you stick it wherever it hurts the most, and it begins to warm up.
Wow.
Within 45 minutes, it's at an optimum temperature, about 45 degrees C, which keeps that area warm, which allows a lot of blood to flow into the space, which then drains out all the metabolites that were causing you pain, causes relaxation of your muscles in there. So traditionally, and almost every woman out there has at some point likely used a hot water bottle. The problem with a hot water bottle is you can't carry it around all day.
That's true.
This is going to stay warm for 12 hours. You stick it on, you go to the office. It's perfectly discreet, odorless, invisible. You carry it in your purse. So our idea is, we've noticed that for most women, and I don't know if we're allowed to be this candid on this show, for a lot of women, once every month, for a day, 2, and for some people up to 4 days,
Yes.
you have debilitating pain. I'm very pro gender parity and allowing women to work every single day of the
Wow,
month and work
wow.
at their best. So we have a bunch of initiatives for ending period poverty, giving sanitary towels to people who could barely afford them, and that is beautiful.
Wow.
But then there's an upper level of the pyramid for people who can afford these products, but then they're in so
Is
much
that
pain.
pain for those 3 days,
They're
4
not
days
going
in
to
the
work.
month?
Yeah.
Or they go to work and they can't be their best selves,
I know.
or they don't sleep well, or whatever it is. And we are hoping this product right here will reduce that. It'll make you your authentic self
Yeah.
every single day of the month, 30 days a month. And that's our first product. We have a bunch of them coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping you'll invite us back on the show to talk about them some other
Yes,
time.
Cedric, if you do well tonight, you can be sure of that.
Hopefully.
But aren't I excited that it's actually a gentleman pushing
Talking-
this agenda? You
Exactly.
know, yeah. Because you look like you actually relate or are empathize with the pain that women go through for those few days in the month.
Yeah.
And so no wonder then you're able to authentically sell the product. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Cedric. We'll be talking more about how you're doing business authentically, and we are glad to have you in the show tonight.
Once more, thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
Yes, Pastor Eugene.
Yes.
Lovely. Today is a different show altogether. We have products that we are looking at.
Yeah.
And of course, this just brings out the idea of authenticity, because if you can't see what we're selling, then what authentic conversation are we having?
That's true.
So I'm actually glad that you guys thought deep to bring your products.
Thank you, thank
Yes.
you. So thank you so much. Today I just want to talk about African Daybreak. So this is a business that we try to help people revitalize their breakfast.
Yes.
Basically, take healthy breakfast. Breakfast is very important because it means that you never know how your day is going to turn up. So you need to have a good, energetic, protein-oriented breakfast that you're just able to do your things in the course of the day without, wondering when else am I going to eat and stuff like that. So we deal with lunch bars. So this is called a lunch bar, granola lunch bars. So basically, this is a makeup of cashew nuts.
Wow.
We have we have the cashew nuts, we have the raisins, we have the oats, we have sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and then we have coated it with honey, and then you've baked. So it's soft, it's sweet, high energy content that you can actually just eat while doing your work in the office, while camping, or maybe you're moving from one place to another, driving, or you're going for a hike, and you can it can actually accompany you along the day. So you also want to help people eat healthy, because this one does not have any health effect. You just
Yeah.
want to eat healthy so that you're also not concerned, what is the wheat content, what is, how our generation nowadays is
Gluten.
yeah,
Got so much gluten.
Yeah,
I won't do it.
you get. So this is basically a combination of all this that I want to share. So I don't have cashew nuts here with me, but we also have cashew nuts that are very sweet. So this one is, these are called pumpkin seeds.
Yes.
I don't know if people knew that pumpkin seeds are very nutritious. Very nutritious. They boost your immune system. And how best when your immune system is boosted?
I
This
know.
period of time where people are just suffering from homa, homa makes you not go to work.
I know.
Because possibly your immune system is just weak and stuff like that. So this one you can actually dry it and eat it like njugu one by one.
Wow.
Or you can choose to boil with salted water.
Wow.
And just take it boiled. Also here I have the sunflower seeds. Have you ever tasted sunflower seeds?
Sunflower seeds, yes.
Very nutritious.
Beautiful, yes.
Very good. They also help in terms of boosting your immune system. You want to say something?
No, yeah. Well, I'm agreeing with you that they're very nutritious,
Yes.
but what I remember about my chew of pumpkin, sunflower seeds,
Yeah.
is that they have roughage.
That's
Yes.
true. Now you are a fan. Yeah, so these ones, so you can boil them in salted water, or you can actually dry them and just eat them. Watching a movie, watching a popcorn sana, And then these are dates. So dates are also very, very good. You just want to take something sweet while doing your stuff and minding your business.
And you can take them on a date.
And you can actually take them on a date. Go for a nature walk. As you date, make sure you date.
You date as you date.
Yeah, you date as you date.
Probably that should be the tagline on that product. Yeah,
you date as you date.
Date as you date.
Absolutely. And then here I have the
Resins.
resins. The resins are very also good in terms of preparing those who love baking. You know, you cooking your chapatis or mandazis, and you just want to add some. You know, that
And salads as well.
And salads,
And
actually.
salads,
And
yeah.
salads. Actually, people love it because it makes some very good salads.
Yeah.
So we also sell these ones. And then we have the almonds. Almonds are also very proteinous.
Yeah.
And they're very good for your health, actually. They're better than jugus.
Whoa,
Yeah, so these ones are also, this is also one of the products that we handle. We sell them at a very affordable price.
Yeah.
So like these are 250 grams, so it goes for 500 shillings. This one is 300 shillings. The resins,
Wow.
the dates are 120. This is 450, and this is 450.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Great. Nice. Whoa. I'm loving how authentic you guys are, that you
Sure.
would even bring your products
Yeah.
and you would show them to our audience this
Thank you.
evening.
Thank you.
So yes, I just want to hear something about, of course, apart from showcasing what you do,
Yes.
how else do you bring authenticity into your businesses? And by the way, before we even go there,
Yeah.
what is this authenticity we're talking about? What would we say is authenticity in business?
Authenticity in business.
Yes.
In fact, you know, authenticity, I just realized actually when I was thinking about this show tonight, authenticity is born out of conviction.
Yes.
Because again, it means you are genuine.
Yes.
So the synonym of authenticity is genuineness.
Yes.
So you can say genuineness in business,
Yes.
trustworthy in business,
Yes.
and you cannot talk about genuineness if you yourself, you're not doing something that you're convicted of.
I hear you.
Again, authenticity is realness. So it means you have identified a problem in the market and you are coming to bring solution. You're not copying.
No.
You know, you can modernize delivery and stuff, but you're doing it from a real perspective. So
Yes.
you are real, you are a real entrepreneur, because there are people who camouflage and they come in different shades, and you're not sure if this is what they do, or they are selling it for someone, you know, you're really not sure what they do,
Yeah.
you understand?
Yeah.
And therefore, as we just talk about authenticity, you're also looking at how are you, because again, the principal purpose of a business is to make money. If you want to be philanthropic, that there's another initiative for philanthropy.
Yes.
But if you're an entrepreneur, you're in business, you want to see how am I doing this thing so that I can get money at the end of it.
Yes.
And you want to have that process, the means to justify the end.
I hear you.
And if the means has to justify the end, the means has to be authentic. Again, when you talk about authenticity, as I come to a close and then allow my colleague also to share, we're talking about your value system. You don't want to sell a product that conflicts with your value system.
know.
Why should you be a Christian and you're selling alcohol? You're not authentic. You're not because it means, again, you're not using what you are selling. If really you can use a product that you sell,
Yes.
you can consume it at home,
Yes.
then that means you're authentic.
I hear
So it
you.
agrees with your value system, and your value system is able to give you that impetus to talk about it passionately.
I hear
Yeah.
you. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
If I had the ability to give you a degree, a PhD in authenticity,
Oh yeah.
I would do that.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Because I don't,
Yeah.
let me allow Cedric to also tell us, what is this
Indeed.
authenticity in business that we're talking about, Cedric?
You know, it's hard to follow after a pastor.
I told you to go fast.
Yeah,
You
I should have gone
refused.
fast. Now I know.
Now you
I'm
know.
not going to go second.
I know.
But definitely to borrow from Eugene when he says it's being true to who you are. I thought we're on a Christian station, so let's start with a verse. I'm sure you know in Acts, is that 17, 24, where it says, and God determined the times and places that we may be born,
Yeah.
Can
and
say
the
that.
durations, you know, just so, and how that applies to me in my personal life is where you are. Every time you step out of your own self and look back at yourself and ask yourself, what are you doing here? Remember that verse and go like,
I know.
it was appointed for me to be born between this duration
Yes.
and that duration, and the very purpose. If that was destined, what then should I be doing in this situation?
Yeah.
And that's a time at which you start to see problems and figure out solutions.
That's
Go
Say that
like,
again.
my partner Joe seated on the other side, and I will have to say, you're only as useful as you are solving problems. You're here to solve people's problems.
Yes.
I love what Jean said. The aim of a business is to make money.
Yeah.
And we measure our businesses like that,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, by the
But I
bottom
like to
line.
say the purpose of our business is to solve a problem.
Problem. Yes.
And if I can solve your problem, the money should
Money,
follow.
yeah,
It
absolutely.
follows, it does.
That will come by itself. The other thing you asked about being genuine, and I've been thinking about now that you gave me this topic yesterday, the drive here, the whole day I've been wondering, now questioning myself, what is actually being genuine, and in what ways are we being genuine? And who's more genuine than Jesus Christ? Who's more authentic than the man Jesus Christ?
Absolutely.
And my favorite portrayals of Jesus are like for example, in John, in the Gospel of John. I think that's my favorite portrayals of Jesus. There's this passage where they catch a woman in adultery,
Yes.
and they bring her to Christ, and they're like, "We caught her," and it's funny because there's a Pharisee calling Jesus Rabbi. He says, "Rabbi, we have caught her. What shall we do with her?" And she's brought there presumably naked. And the oddest thing, the reason why this is happening, if you relate with the epistles of Paul, the Pharisees are of the opinion that this man Jesus Christ is diluting our faith. His
He's walking
disciples
and
are not even washing their hands before they eat. Have you heard the other day he healed on the Sabbath? This man,
Yes.
sacrilege, pure sacrilage. They're like, I think he's even, as my Swahili speaking friends would say, anaongeza udhaifu kwenye mwili wa Bwana. How shall we deal with this chap? And they're like, you know what? Let's put forward this situation, because it's really tough, even for Pharisees themselves. They're not proud about stoning a woman caught in adultery. It's not. I'm sure it's not a pretty scene. No one is happy to do it.
no.
You know, and they bring her out, and they're like, "We have caught her, master." The law says that we should stone her. But what say you? And I love the way they're trying to see, show us your real self. Bring it on. We need to see who you really
are. Yes.
And just the way he handles, the grace with which he handles this situation is just,
That's true.
for me, that's an example of authenticity right there.
Yeah.
And that's something I'd like to bring to all my businesses, and how we deal with our businesses is when we come on, we want to be able to, we need you to feel our brand personality from brand colors. And like you said, saddest thing about this is it's a man talking about a feminine hygiene products.
Yes.
In a team of mostly guys,
Yes.
we are trying to bring in as many women as we can, because
Yes.
we are solving their pain, and they should be able to speak about this product better than us. Hopefully in the future, this will never be me.
I think
ever.
I prefer that the man is the one speaking,
Absolutely.
Cedric.
Yes.
Why? Because, like I said, you are empathizing,
Yeah.
but you're not faking it, because we might be coming out and saying we have the pain, we are this, we are the other, but we can't quite.
That's true.
Nobody would tell how real that is
Yeah,
until you watch your wife one day not go to work.
Correct.
And you know this is real pain.
Yeah.
That is when you would actually be able to tell Enyewe, there's a problem right here that needs to be solved. But yes, I'm loving what you guys are saying. And of course, I want us to uncover then how do we become authentic in our businesses. I love the way you've described it, that it is genuineness, it is realness, it is bringing yourself to the table and saying, this is what I represent.
That's true.
My values are aligned to this business. As you do that, I'm sure you eat healthy breakfast.
Absolutely.
And as you do this, I'm sure you empathize with women and you really want to solve their problem genuinely. As I do my coaching, I really relate with unemployment and things to do with people being idle and not knowing what exactly they want to do with their lives. And so that is why we as business people are then saying, this is the way. Let's bring it to the people. Let's solve problems. I love the way that you're saying that businesses really are about solving problems. And indeed, they are about solving problems. But you know, you cannot solve a problem that has not pinched you to some extent. So as we will be talking, we'll be seeing how even to tell our story. So that even as you tell your story, you're telling a story that you know. I have seen people, somebody who has suffered early pregnancy, and they come out and they are doing a program that will solve challenges of early pregnancy because they have been there and they know the pain of early pregnancy, and so they can be able to give something authentic to their audience. So with that, I think we can take a very short break.
Cool.
And we will come back and continue with this conversation.
Sure.
Our dear viewers, please don't touch that dial. Just keep it right there. We will be back in the next couple of minutes, and we're looking forward to you being with us even as we unfold this mystery, this topic, this thing about authentic businesses, because I know you need to be authentic as you discharge your duties at the end of the day. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you in a few minutes.
Cool.
First Thessalonians chapter number 5, verse 17. Pray without ceasing, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you.
On Watch and Pray, we pray for you and with you regarding your prayer requests, our nation and the whole world.
There's this one who is saying there's a marriage separation in marriage, but let's pray for the babies and then restore also. Father God Almighty.
Join Mama Eda Adoyo on Watch and Pray every Monday from 7:30 p.m. live on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Every time you hear it, then you know it is time for your news updates.
With carefully prepared unique content to not only update, but to also inform and engage with you.
As opinion shapers, we will endeavor to have factual national dialogues to discuss on news that matter to you.
Bringing you guests that are authoritative in their respective fields for cutting-edge conversations.
Traversing different parts of the country to bring you feature stories that highlight issues affecting you and the society at large.
We bring you reports from current affairs to politics to technology, farming, business, and many more.
For all county, national, and international happenings, tune in to Newswatch every day of the week at 9 p.m. only on Hope TV.
Authenticity in business, indeed. And I'm hopeful that you there who would like to start a business and you have no idea where to begin, how to do it, I think the path that you need to follow is this path of authenticity. Even as we unfold it further and give you tips and give you nuggets on how you can do your business authentically, please be there and flow on with us just to hear some more by people who have been in business and have done it and have lived an authentic life. So I want to ask you, Cedric, this time I begin with you. You don't want the pastor to go before. Tamaliza kila kitu.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So tell me, is it even important to be authentic?
Is it even important to be authentic?
Yes, in business.
If you're asking, can you get away without authenticity? You almost could,
Yes.
but you'll be much better off with it.
I hear you.
There is, you find freedom when you find your authentic self.
Wow.
You're not yet living until you live your own life.
Wow.
You could pretend to be other people, and you could pretend to be another business. You could launch this product and pretend to be another business, but we try not to be. We are currently like at this stage recruiting new employees, and they ask things like, "What's your organizational culture?" And we have a few answers to these things. We have, like, for us, for example, for our business, the opposite of what pain is harsh, and we choose to be gentle. We'd like to be gentle. We'd like to be gentle like Christ is gentle. We'd like to be gentle like a mother's hug. We'd like to be gentle like the brother who buys sanitary towels for his sister. We'd like to be that sort of gentle. If as a man out there, you haven't been sent out to buy painkillers because your sister or your wife was in so much pain she couldn't leave the house, and you didn't take that walk there and come back counting your blessings and thinking, how can I make this better for you?
Yeah.
It's true.
And
For us, that's the backstory. That's where we are, and that's why for us it's genuine and it connects better. Like you talked about forming brand narratives and who the business is. That is a business story. Our business story is a business story of I had a really good a really good friend. We were workmates. And every month, 2 days, she doesn't come in. And always used to go like, why are you taking your leave days 2 days at a time?
I know.
Like, see when the upumzi.
Yeah.
Then it took years before she was like, yo, I suffer really, really bad period pain. And on the first 2 days, I can't function.
Yeah.
And I'd rather take that out as leave days.
Yeah.
You know, and there's stories out there. It spurs what we'd like to do. If I ever, God willing, find myself in a place of authority to be able to put this legislation through, women should fairly, in all fairness, get period pain leave.
Yes.
You know, the same way you give you maternity leave.
Yeah.
Because if men used to have a period, trust me, we'd all get 4 days off
Celebrate
every month.
you. I will vote you in.
Every month.
I know.
Guys would get 4 days off.
Yes,
you know, and there's an experiment, actually, this was actually done recently, 3-4 weeks ago in Italy. Someone found a brace that they tie around your belly, and they went around Italy's parliament, up to and including the prime minister, going like, wear this belt, let's give you an electric shock just so you know what cramps feel like.
What?
And now in Italy,
They had to,
now they have leave days for period pain.
for period pain.
By law,
Whoa.
you know.
I want to live in Italy.
Right? And maybe we need to just be genuine enough and start feeling other people's pain.
I know, definitely.
That's right.
Authenticity at its best,
At its
isn't
best.
it?
True that.
And as you're talking, I'm imagining of somebody, you know, the way Kenyans oftentimes, we see my neighbor has begun a kiosk that is selling tomatoes,
Yeah.
and the rest of the estate is
Selling.
flowing there
Yeah.
to buy tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
And I think, tomatoes is the business to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do my kiosk right next to that one. And it doesn't even go beyond 3 months.
Yeah.
Why? Because the motivation of this one is not the same motivation
Yeah.
I had, is not the same pain I felt.
Yeah.
You never know what would you say of
That's
that, Eugene?
You know, during the COVID-19 period when everything was on a lockdown, so I used to live in a twin apartment, 6th floor, and the other one was 6th floor. So I came to realize, hey, I think people right now, you know, people are spending a lot of time in the house.
Yeah.
They're not even thinking of healthy living, and that's when I wanted to really try and see, can I sell a product? Now that I was doing services, can I now sell a product? I wanted to do that so that I can, you know, work on my pitching and you know, that selling capability as an entrepreneur. So I started, I came, one morning I just woke up and I said, I can start frying fish.
Whoa.
So I went to some lady who was the chief vendor, and I used to buy the Nile patch, the big one, cut into small pieces, and I used to sell.
I love
and
your
I just used to start from the ground floor to the 6th floor.
Yes.
And I finished for that day, and then the following day I moved to the other apartment.
Yeah.
And you've talked about something that is so central, and I think you also mentioned it. What problem are you solving?
I know.
Because the problem will give you the motivation.
That's true.
If the motivation is money, I mentioned yesterday during the CBF that money is a value.
Yes.
And you don't chase after value. If you want to build value around you, you build yourself. You build value within you.
The product.
And then you know, the money will always follow
does.
value, because money is a value, and there's that value language. Value attracts value. You understand? And therefore, the reason because for that entire period at that time, I didn't see anybody doing fish. So me love fish. Why should I struggle getting fish?
You need to become my friend.
And I duplicated my problem. I was just like, now how many people are having the same problem of having fish or getting fish? That is the same mechanization that we're using even with Daybreak. So we are like, many people struggle eating healthy. How can we help them understand the benefit of eating healthy? That is the motivation. And that is actually now bring the aspect of your why.
Yeah.
Because Simon Sinek says clearly that people don't buy your what, they buy your why.
Why.
Because it comes to a moment in season as an entrepreneur, your what is not clear.
It's not.
Right now we talk about taxes.
I know.
And for sure, if your why is not as central and clear as possible,
I know.
the motivation will
You
die.
will not do that.
So you realize that the motivation, the positive motivation drives your why. And now that your why now starts to help you, your how. And now your how makes it clear that this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to do it.
Wow.
With who I'm going to do it.
Yes.
So even when you talk about the question of authenticity in that within the jurisdiction of what I've just said, you realize the first question you need to ask yourself, when did you start your business? What factors led for you to start your business?
Yes.
The intrinsic factors, the inner motivation, and the extrinsic factors. So what was the circumstance that led to you starting your business? So possibly it will be the if you cannot answer those questions, you cannot define the authenticity of your business. What circumstances led to you starting your business? Have you ever asked yourself why Apple product they're very expensive, but you'll go to any executive office and you'll get an Apple product. Because they don't sell the what, they sell the why. You just open an Apple product, and even the sound, you know, the sound gives you that gusto.
I know.
You just feel like you're the boss, you know. So that they have defined their why. And their motivation is right. Steve Jobs died long time ago, but the product keeps on selling.
I know. It has outlived him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and as you talk, I'm actually just thinking about how many of us in Kenya, and just to repeat what I asked initially, will do something just because so-and-so is doing it.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, it fails.
Absolutely.
But if you were to go back deep down within yourself and see what is it that makes you attracted to a certain thing, what is it that catches your eyes every time? Because it's not everything within this room or wherever we are will catch my eyes.
That's true.
But there is something that keeps coming back into my mind, that keeps catching my eyes, and through the senses God has given us, you're able to see the problems of people.
That's true.
And you're able to relate with them. So for example, again, I'll give the example of unemployment in Kenya, and how for me, it hurts my heart. It gets to my heart, and I keep wondering, what are people doing about this? Why do we have so many idle men standing, looking at a machine on the road? You know, why can't they do something? And for me, that is why coaching became such a big deal, you know. And for you, I hear the pain. I hear the breakfast. Authenticity indeed. But then again, how do we become authentic? I'm hearing you say that it is indeed very, very important to be authentic, to be real, to relate with the pains, and you call them the pain points of our clients, and also be able to provide a solution that would elevate this pain. So then how? How do we do it? Is there a written formula for doing authenticity in business? Any of you can begin.
You want to start?
No, please go ahead.
How do you become authentic? You know, it's interesting that there is no university that will teach you how to be authentic. There is no training that will teach you how to be passionate about what you do.
Yes.
And I think the place of passion, the inner passion of why you're doing the thing you're doing, I think I'll still go back to, why are you doing the thing you're doing?
Yes.
So if someone comes and you're selling phones at CBD, and there's so many shops selling phones.
Yes.
I ask you, why are you selling phones? And then you tell me, it's because I'm unemployed. No, that is not a reason enough.
No, it's not.
That means if a job comes, your business will be closed. Or you say, I'm just having a good time, or I'm trying to see if this is something that I'm made of. You're not authentic, because it means because the question of authenticity should also be answered very well if we look at sustainability. Your authenticity sustains you.
I love this.
So if you're not authentic, your level of sustainability is questionable. So you realize that we have so many people starting stuff, but they fail. Now the other thing that I'll also ask is that inner motivation. What drove you to start this business? For example, you hear the story of the Wright brothers. They had the idea of starting an aeroplane in a bicycle shop. Those boys were mechanics. They were fixing bikes, and then they had the idea of starting an aeroplane. Now, right now, we swiftly move from one continent to another because of two people who started up a product because they were so authentic. And you see sustainability. So you see the inner motivation, and they were like, we want to help people move from point A to point B. Now, if you cannot answer that question again, it becomes very hard. And then I think the other very important thing that I'll just posit at that is the question of accountability. Now, if you cannot be accountable to the people around you. First of all, to your customer. The customer is always right.
I hear you.
Now, if you cannot sustain the pressure of a customer, you are not an entrepreneur. You're just trying something out. So you ask yourself, can I be accountable to someone about the business that I do? Because again, authenticity is not a private affair.
No, it's not.
It is a public affair, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You have to make sure that you are talking to people. You're pushing yourself. Yesterday, I was challenging guys and I was telling them, if you cannot speak audibly and so passionately about what you do, it means possibly you cannot sell anything.
Or maybe you don't even believe in what you're selling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you can't sell as an entrepreneur, go home. You know, just go home. This thing is not for you. You see. And that sense of accountability is able to help you because it's driven by authenticity.
Yeah.
You're able to speak about your product passionately.
Yes.
So sustainability and accountability is so central.
I hear you. I hear you. And when you talk sustainability, what comes to mind is even where we do our businesses, the neighborhood in which we do our businesses. Because, you know, when we talk about the sustainable development goals, really it centers on that there is something that is driving you bigger than the money.
Absolutely.
That I am, if I close this shop, I have employed 16 people from this neighborhood. Where will they go to?
Where will they go?
So you're actually looking at that business that will outlive your motivation, or you're waking up every day. There is people I have employed.
That's right.
But it also speaks to the environment in which you're doing business. You have suppliers, you have goods that come from that neighborhood. What will happen if I close? And if the rest of us in this sort of business closed? But there is also the bit of governance in it, you know. And so there is a lot to just think about in how you do your business and do it authentically. But the other thing that is coming to mind besides that is, you know, I think we can get so busy in perfecting whatever we are doing that we forget that we operate within a broken world, a dead world.
That's true.
You know? And the problems we are solving, we're not solving problems that are for cows and the goats and
humans.
And, you know, they are human problems. So I don't know what you would speak into that in being real and avoiding perfectionism, but also while at it enjoying what you're doing. Because you wake up every day to do this thing.
And you want to enjoy it.
You want to enjoy it. You actually want to enjoy the journey of doing it. I don't know what you would speak to that.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I guess I love that what you said. Something about waiting till it's perfect.
Yes.
Good enough is good enough.
Yes.
It is important to start to say this is good enough.
Yes.
And a beautiful example I've learned of late is if you have a good idea and you've patched it together poorly, and you present it, the great idea will shine through. It doesn't need to be perfect.
You can say
but
that.
if you have an idea that doesn't solve anyone's problem, it doesn't matter how well you polish it, it's still not going to solve problems.
I know.
So the sooner you get out to market, the sooner you're able to start showing your product. You find a few people you trust and you're like, oh, Gene has this granola bar. And he starts showing it around before it's perfect. That's when I taste it and I'm like, oh, it's not yet there. If you change the package, kidogo will be there.
Feedback.
You know,
Feedback.
if you add a little more, will be there. But if you wait until it would be perfect,
you'll never get it.
You waited too long.
You waited way too long.
I
The
know.
day you wait for it to be perfect, you've
You
already
waited
waited
too
too long.
long.
And I think that's a quote from Simon Sinek.
Yeah,
I think it's Simon Sinek. Yes.
So that's one. What's our formula for doing genuineness? What's our formula for being authentic? Just think it's vulnerability. It's being unashamed. It's being, this is who I am, and I'm not afraid to be seen as trying.
I love it.
Half the time, the reasons we don't go out, you've talked about if you don't sell as an entrepreneur, wachana na hiki. This is not for you. I had the good fortune of hanging out with a really wealthy man, and he would sell everywhere he'd be. He'd be like at a restaurant eating and order a bottle of Maggi, and they bring him the Maggi, and he's like, why don't you have my brand? It is the best water.
I know.
Where's the manager? And he'd go and pitch it and sell it. And how? And he's like, if you want to help someone in this life, teach them how to sell.
Yeah.
So I always used to tell him, how will I know how to sell?
I know.
Because it's like, you know, every other part of business, No offense, no offense, Sarah, but you're a coach.
Yes.
Say in finance,
Yes.
you're in admin.
Yes.
Next person is in marketing.
Yeah.
All of us are cost centers.
Yes.
No one makes money other than the person who sells.
That's true. You can say that again.
That's true.
Now, no one is ever going to teach you how to sell. You know why? Selling has to come from a point of pain and vulnerability. No one has ever grown up saying, I want to be a salesman when I grow. No one ever.
No one.
I challenge you, if there's someone, I'm giving you a pack of Ziva, come out, I'll give you a free pack. But no one has ever been born and said, I want to be a great salesman. You start to sell from a point of pain. And the vulnerability, the fear of rejection you suffer. If you've ever sold,
Hey.
especially if you've dared sell door to door, you go knock on a door.
Are you
Yes.
hearing Eugene selling fish over
Fish.
COVID?
Door to door. When he passed out, umezoea kusimama mbele ya watu. It is easier. No offense. I mean, no.
That's
No.
true. Yeah.
Still not to dumb down the pain. I know it's still as scary.
I know.
There's nothing as hard as facing that rejection of,
I know. I don't know what it
I am
is.
so and so, and I'm here to sell you this thing.
I tell you.
You know the way you look at the hawker who tries to sell you stuff in traffic?
Yeah.
You look the other way,
And the windows are just
and
black.
you roll out the windows as soon as they come up. I guess that's ideally what we are afraid of.
Yes.
And in my journey to genuineness,
Yes.
I know I am being genuine the day I am not afraid of that anymore.
Yes.
I am not afraid to be seen as trying.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait until this thing is perfect, so I bring it out. This package is maybe not exactly where I need it to be, but we're going to bring it out.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not afraid, I'm not ashamed to be seen as trying. I am going to
I hear
try
you.
until the day I get there.
Wow.
Before we get there, we are
Wow.
going to keep trying.
I know.
Yeah.
Definitely. I hear you. Vulnerability.
Unashamedness.
Oh, I tell you, yes, because I can only imagine this one who has begun out of seeing the pain of a mother or seeing the pain of a child. By the way, do you know the motivations of business could be anything? Could be even that I am jobless, I have to wake up and wash clothes for somebody, you know, and how vulnerable one must be to actually step out there and get that boldness.
Yeah.
But you see, that is what opens the door for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But assuming I sat there and said, you know what? I will do nothing, then what? What comes out of that, you know? So I agree with you totally. But then again, I think there's something you alluded to. It's about knowing what your customers want.
Yes.
This authenticity has everything to do with knowing what exactly they want.
Yeah.
And you said customers are always right.
Yeah.
So if I'm not giving a product that is solving a particular problem and meeting that customer's need, then I'm not in business
You're
at
not
the
in
end of the day. So really, I'm hearing you guys say that authenticity has to do with every nitty-gritty detail of your business. Right from your mission, to your vision, to your objectives, to your values, to everything you do in that business. And I'm really hoping that our viewers, you're there, and this conversation is affecting you in one way or the other, in a positive way, to begin thinking about why, especially the why that Eugene has so spoken about.
Yeah.
Of doing business, because if you lose it and it's not clear to you, then you may not be authentic as you do your business. And I think I would just want us to do a close in you doing just a closing remark, even as we come to the end of this show. Yeah, and I will ask Cedric.
I go before the
You
pastor.
go before the pastor.
Number one, thank you so much for having us. You said before you started, this is going to be a fun show. It has absolutely been a fun show.
Yes.
Parting shot, be genuine, be authentic, be who you are.
Yes.
You were put on earth at this time and this place
Yes.
for a good reason. I know in the Bible it says it's so that you may turn your face to the Lord, and perhaps in seeking Him, you may find Him. But together with that, you are here next to the people you are next to solve their problems. Figure out what problems you can solve. Number two, do not be ashamed of who you are.
Yeah.
Unashamedly, do not be afraid to be seen, to try. The journey of 1,000 miles must start with a step. Go out and take that first step.
Yeah.
Secondly, Do we plug our product?
You can.
Absolutely. Our product is available online. You can check out the fertility shop, and we should be at almost any other online pharmacy in the next couple of weeks. As of now, we're on the fertility shop and likely my Dawa. We also check out our socials. That's Ziva. Ziva is spelled just like it looks here. Z-I-V-A. Ziva on Ziva Cares on all the socials, and ziva.ke on the website.
Lovely.
Asante sana,
Thank
Sarah,
you,
for having me.
Cedric.
Gene, it's been fun.
Thank you, man.
Has been a fun interview.
Yes,
Thank you.
Eugene.
Thank you. I think I'll say two things. Someone said something that's very important that has stayed with me for a number of time, that God did not create tables and chairs, but God created trees. And it was upon man that inner ability. One of the we call them the communicable attributes of God. That means the attributes of God that we also emulate through the likeness and the image of God that we bear. It's the ability to be creative.
Yes.
God is a creator. Therefore, He has given each one of us an ability to think. And your mind is the most powerful tool you can use to change this world.
Yeah.
And just being able to see things differently, you're able to bring solutions to the world. And it's most important for you as an entrepreneur, first of all, pray for your business. Pray for your business, because you have never been on this side of entrepreneurship ever. I've never been on this side. I've never been on Sunday, the 2nd July 2023.
No,
I've never
you
been
haven't.
here. And therefore, this is the first time I've been here. I've been doing this. And therefore, it's only God. I'm living the past tense of God as an entrepreneur. And therefore, He's the chief idea giver. And therefore, for you as an entrepreneur, you have to have the ability and the proclivity of always falling back to Him and asking God. Proclivity. Yeah. You need to have the proclivity. I mean, your natural tendency should always be to go back to God.
I hear you.
Because He's the one who gives these ideas. So go to God, pray and ask Him for direction, ask Him for clarity. I think that's the most important thing. But secondly, and the last thing, build a community around you.
Yes.
Start with one person who knows your authenticity. And I've come to realize that if you talk to one person who trusts you, trust is built. It's
Yes.
a building block.
Yes.
Talk to one person. That's actually how people nowadays are doing marketing.
Yes.
If I'm able to trust you, I go to Cedric, he's able to trust me, and then we're able to build a community of people who are able to market our product.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cedric. It's been so real.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the time is gone for us to be on
flown.
the show? But it has been very, very amazing, authentically, you guys.
Yes.
And I am so grateful that you joined us.
Yes.
Our dear viewers, I am so grateful that you sat there to enjoy this show with us and to learn one or two things that can help you to be authentic in your business. I pray that God will help you to be real. But most importantly, I pray that when you wake up every day, just like Pastor Eugene has said, you will wake up and pray that the Lord, the giver of wisdom, will go before you to perfect your business and to be real as you offer solutions in our land. Looking forward to seeing you next Sunday. It's been great. It's been real. And thank you very much for being there. Kwaheri for now.
Cheers.